So, you are being told that the early application process is the best thing for you, but you aren't sure or you're not convinced. Good news! We can explain the options, you can fill in the details, and then you will be prepared for a decision on whether or not to get up and get busy on your applications. Hi, I'm Margaret Meek, and this is Early Applications Might Be Your Friend. Okay, let's get going. And before we go too far, there is some debate about whether or not early applicants have a better chance of being accepted into college. Yes, with fewer applicants in one batch, there is the chance that your application will get more attention. And there is the reality that if a college fills a significant portion of its incoming class in early admissions, there are fewer spots open for regular admissions. However, if you don't meet the school's standards, you will not be admitted. The school may be more willing to take a chance on the unknown applicant who applies later, rather than your application that comes in early, if your application isn't impressive enough. Schools will set and stay within a target percentage of the class they want to take early. And again, check with each school. It is not uncommon for schools to take 50% or more of their classes early. Tulane. Here are your options for college admissions before the regular admissions process closes in late December or early January. Early action. You can apply to any school that uses the process and get an admissions decision or an admissions deferral well before the regular admissions deadlines. Restricted early action. You apply to your top school, the one that you most want to attend, and only your top school. You are restricted from applying to any other college during the early period. You will get an admissions decision before the regular admissions close. If accepted, you are not bound to that school. You can still apply elsewhere, knowing that you have an acceptance in your pocket. Early decision. You apply to your top and only your top school. If you are accepted, you have agreed to attend their school. If deferred, you can check on regular admissions. And you can also get to applying to all those other colleges on your list. You should also find out if the college offers early decision 1 and the later date for early decision 2. There is no difference between the two except for the due date for applications. Rolling admissions. Some colleges open early admissions in the fall and accept applications that will fit their criterion whenever the applications arrive until their freshman class is filled. Notification of an admissions decision is given within a few weeks of the application being received. Regular admissions, you can apply to any school you wish. Applications are generally due in December and January. Not every school uses any form of early admissions. Check with the schools you are interested in to see if they participate in making early admissions decisions. Early applications use the forms on the college's website and on collectives such as the Common and Coalition applications. The advantages of applying early in any format are: you can get an answer and move on with your college process. Acceptance, denial, or deferral, at least you know where you stand. You can find out how competitive you are for the schools with the most restrictive application processes. If you're accepted, you can be done with the application process and focus on making your senior year the best it can be while planning your future. If you're denied admission, you can find a school that is a better fit with plenty of time to make your application the best it can be. If you are deferred or admissions is still possible but not a lock, you are welcome to find other schools that will meet your needs and be fun, with plenty of time to apply to those schools. From the school side, they are given a choice of students who are motivated, after all you did the work early, organized, after all you did the work, and most importantly, want them. That is important to the colleges, that you want them. They also get to begin to fill their incoming class with students who will accept their admissions offers. In the higher ed world, this means they can increase their yield percentage. That is the percentage of people who are offered admittance and accept. The higher the yield rate, the more selective and impressive the school looks. So you can make a college look really good. Those of you who are considering any of these avenues for early application need to do a self-check. Make sure your credentials are competitive. Colleges inform you about the typical qualities applicants have presented in the recent past. If your scores, GPA, and activities are lower than the average, continue working on your application qualifications and apply later. Check with your high school counselor to see if you are competitive. Now, for those of you who think you need more information, here we go. Early action. You can apply to as many schools as you wish. If accepted, you will follow the timeline presented by the school. There is no binding commitment to attend. You get to select the college you will attend from the admissions offers you receive. Just remember to keep an eye on the timeline each school provides for when they must hear your decision. If the school denies you admission, move on from that school. They won't suddenly want you during regular admissions. Find a better school match for your future. If your application is met with a deferral or a no decision, your application will be added to the regular admission process. Check with your admissions counselor to see if you should provide any further information to enhance your candidacy. Early Decision 1 and 2. Again, the only difference between Early Decision 1 and 2 is the deadline for applications. Only apply to your number one selection for a college. If you're accepted, early decision admissions offers are binding. How do they make this acceptance binding? And we should note it is a matter of your honor and good reputation, not a legally binding decision. The applications require the applicant, a parent, and the school counselor to sign a document stating that if the school offers admission, the student will accept. Rejection is final. If you don't get in, move on to other educational opportunities. You can apply to any other school after you receive a denial. One of the cautions we offer about early decision is that if accepted, you do not have the chance to compare your financial aid award offerings to other schools. However, in rare cases, once your offer is received, you may be given the opportunity to prove that you can't meet the financial obligations. You may then be released from your acceptance. So the obvious tip is contact the financial aid office and the admissions officers to determine as much as possible how much it will cost you to attend that particular college beyond the age package you are likely to receive. If your early decision application is deferred, your submission will be considered as a part of the regular admissions process. Check to see if you can bust up your submission. And with the deferred decision, you are released from the binding commitment and can apply to any other schools. For those of you who think you can game the system and no one will know that you applied to more than one school early decision, please remember that the letter your counselor signs has an agreement that says your transcript will only be sent to one college, so your other applications will not be complete or competitive. Rolling admissions. There are no restrictions, binding decisions, or warnings. If your application is strong and the college accepts rolling admissions applications, apply now. If you are denied, you will have plenty of time to move on to other schools' applications. If you are accepted, take that acceptance and move on with your senior year. There are two truths, no matter what timing you use for your applications. You have to put together a strong application. If your application isn't what it could be, hold off until it is, and then get off your rear end and get to work. Senioritis is not your friend. If you get distracted by the shiny object in front of you instead of the project that requires work, apply early and minimize distractions. Now that you've inserted your details, you can move forward with your application timeline. Work hard and meet the deadlines. Good luck. Please like, subscribe, and share if you found this video helpful.